Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing.
From the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream tonight. We are going to be talking about AARO. I'll be answering any questions you guys have about the phone call. We're going to do a little bit of NROL, probably 39 posts tonight, and then we'll prepare a little bit of content for the upcoming week. Because I've been working, I haven't been able to push out content during the day. So I'm thinking if we prepare stuff ahead of time, it might make it a little bit easier for us, and then I can just post it during the day, what have you. Yeah, I was also listening to Alien Scientist just now. He had a bunch of views. We'll also talk about the squid alien or whatever, jellyfish video. And yeah, it's going to be a good stream tonight, guys. We're only going to go for about 2 hours. I know that's kind of a little bit on the short side for the stuff that we've been doing. Yeah, we may look at the Freeman Cope stuff as well. So there's a lot to go over tonight, guys. Gonna go ahead and shoot this out, and then we'll just get started right away. Jellyfish, alien, and doing investigation. Okay. Okay, one sec, guys. Don't want to waste any time tonight. So, yeah, welcome everybody who's here already right away. You guys jumped on real quick. Yeah, first thing I want to say is that I do still have another job. People said, you still have another job? It's like, yeah, well, you know, it's hard to do 2 jobs at once. And I mean, it's just really hard, honestly. Like, especially this weekend, I had kind of a sitting there thinking, like, man, it's hard to go back doing spreadsheets and all this other database stuff that I do on the side after you're sitting here talking about advanced technology with Tim Pool and chatting and hanging out with people like Dave Rossi, who, in my opinion, they're kind of in the know. So let's start off by talking about the alien scientist stuff. I don't really need to show anything for this, but I was just watching Alien Scientist, and God, I love Jeremy. You guys definitely should be checking out Jeremy Reese, Alien Scientist. Crypto Alchemist is in the chat as well. Bernie, Burn Eye, he's on there frequently with him. Really appreciative of him, you know. I think that he can be a harsh critic, of course, because he's a guy who's skeptical. He has the same intersection that this community has between conspiracy and disclosure, right? And then science. But at the same time, he's somebody that has given this case a platform. He's allowed us to, you know, expand our reach, to talk to people who are digging into the science behind all this stuff. And for somebody like him and his kind of followers and people in his sphere to not immediately kind of poo-poo the idea, to me says a lot about the idea that, you know, we could have a plane teleport. You know, most people, especially if you go look at the academic side, are going to say that this is completely impossible, right? Because they just believe whatever they've been told from academia, scientific papers, etc. But and this will lead into the jellyfish thing, so we'll start off with this right away, is, you know, the thing that Jeremy said tonight on stream, which I just made me so happy when I was sitting there listening and watching, is that the stuff related to the Ashton Forbes videos, they're not my videos, but the MH370 videos in general, is that the videos, there's so much verifiable information, right? Like so much of this stuff, like it's not even a matter of can you debunk it. It's like we can just get the answers from the government, right? Either that is or is not an MQ-1C Gray Eagle video. Either that is or is not what the sentient program with Sibbers sending a data, satellite video looks like. Either Edward C. Lynn went to prison for these videos or he went to prison for something else. Like the guy spent 6 years in prison. He got a 9-year sentence. That's a lot of time for disseminating classified information, right? Compared to stuff like the jellyfish video, right? Where it's like, okay, we got a video of a jellyfish, flying jellyfish. Like, now what? It's like cool. It's a cool video. I don't know if it's real or not, but what do we do with that? Like, what does that mean? Can jellyfish float in the sky? Is that a drone? Like, is it some balloons? So what? What's the next step, right? That's the difference between the MH370 case and the videos that we've been promoting and the stuff that, Jeremy Corbell's putting out there, which, JC, no disrespect, sir. No disrespect. Feel free to reach out to me anytime you want. But we're digging into stuff that like has scientific implications, that we're looking at videos where we can see orbs and the gravity engine in front of them, where we've got engineers saying that this is consistent with science. When I see a jellyfish floating at normal speeds, I just go, okay, well, that's pretty weird. And I made a post and said, hey, here's a whole bunch of other videos that could corroborate it. I did my investigative thing. I looked around for other videos. There's a lot that are similar, right? But it doesn't really move the needle forward. And the other thing too is that, and you guys know this, is that, I'm agnostic on the whole aliens visiting us stuff, right? I just don't really care if they're visiting us or not. I think it'd be neat if they are, but to me, the whole alien side of it, like Jeremy says, is kind of a distraction. I mean that in the nicest possible way, where that's not the real implications on our society, right? Sure, aliens are visiting us. Now what? Okay, that's cool. The real implications of our society is the technology that it would take for them to get here. The technology that another race or another civilization might have access to. And this is why I'm also interested in stuff like history and the pyramids and other stuff like that, where we were talking with Chad from the Investigate Earth podcast 2 days ago, actually, as well. So, the reason why I think that stuff's interesting is because I think that technology isn't like a linear path that you always follow. It's got branches on it, right? It can go any direction. We go this way with technology. It might go down this way with technology. So in my mind, it's possible that past civilizations could have been further advanced in some concepts like quantum theory and the word I'm looking for here, quantum mechanics versus us. Maybe they just understood the idea of what electricity is and magnetism is on a different level than we understand it. I was watching Ken Wheeler, who is a guy who I had dismissed early on, and I think I had too much CNN brain going on, but the idea that everything isn't particles, that what we have around us is fields, I really like that idea. And if you think of it like that, you say, well, man, maybe these other civilizations have figured it out from a completely different perspective, right? They could be more advanced in some ways and less advanced in other ways. 100 ways to skin a cat. Exactly, guys. So, that being said, I just want to go ahead and thank Jeremy Reese, for being an advocate for the videos, because I know the reality is that he's got people telling him, oh, it's stupid, it's dumb, it's a psyop, whatever, right? But he looks at it and he knows there's verifiable information there, So let's move to the jellyfish stuff. Okay. Bigger. Let's try not to reveal our DMs today. We'll do our best. Also, quick announcement. I am going to be interviewing Timothy Alberino on Saturday. I haven't confirmed if we're going to do it live or not. We may be a recorded conversation. If so, I will try to get it posted as fast as possible. So that will be Hard Truths, probably number 7, because I think I haven't edited the Chad discussion. But our YouTube didn't get shut down from the discussion, which is good. We were broaching some topics that can get you censored on YouTube, so I was getting a little bit worried. But no, it was a fun conversation with Chad. I'm a huge fan of Investigate Earth, guys. If you are into all the stuff that we've been talking about, make sure you check out the Investigate Earth podcast on Spotify. It's an audio podcast. I've had like 5 different discussions with them, and it started with MH370 stuff, and now it's kind of broached into stuff around like, you know, just other esoteric aspects. So it's huge. Yeah, Timothy Arborino is going to be awesome. And so what I'm going to talk about with Timothy Arborino is, first we're going to probably talk about the Peru situation, but I don't want to retread a lot of the topics about the Peru stuff. I just want to get his opinion on what he thinks was going down there. I'm sure he's going to tell me that something real has happened there. He may not know exactly, but that will only lend more credibility to him. And then after that, I want to talk about this idea of like a post-human evolution civilization, right? Which is, we think about the technology that we know we're revealing here, stuff like the unification of quantum entanglement and general relativity. And what is that really going to mean? Also stuff like AI too. I'm almost certainly going to talk about AI with him as well. There was a comic book series that I read a couple years ago, and it was actually an X-Men one, Powers of X and House of X. And spoiler alert, everybody, the main concept behind it is that there is this back and forth between biological evolution and technological evolution. And that it constantly, the way it works is like a cyclical system where one wins and then the other one wins and then the other one wins. And I just thought that idea is a really interesting one that I had never heard of before. And when I looked into Timothy Arborino's book, Birthright, that is kind of in my mind what he's pushing for, is that we are going to be soon engaging in this post-human civilization, post-biological civilization, where we unify with the technology. Maybe that's computerized artificial intelligence. Maybe that's other forms of technology related to quantum mechanics and stuff like, you know, fusion power, force fields, invisibility, etc. All the stuff that we've been talking about that is theoretically going to become possible when we unify quantum theory with macro theory. So going to be an awesome conversation on Saturday. Really looking forward to talking with Timothy. Seems like a really great guy. Plus, just from a personal perspective, I'm somebody who's lived overseas. I love that he goes and visits other countries and does that kind of stuff. I think that so few people in America ever leave even their hometown, let alone leave the country and see how other people live. I think it's an extremely important experience for everyone to go through, where you can realize that, man, in a lot of ways, we have it really good in America, is what I'll say. Most of the rest of the world does not live like we live. Okay, so that is that part. One thing at a time, guys. We're gonna dig into the rest of the stuff. Okay, Jellyfish Aliens time, folks. You guys ready for Jellyfish Aliens? I'm ready for Jellyfish Aliens. So first of all, why am I reporting on Jellyfish Aliens? Well, because it's kind of interesting. And, you know, I like reporting on trending topics that are out there in general. I don't know if I necessarily believe in all of them, but yeah, it's interesting. We also, quick note before we get to Jellyfish Aliens, Don Lemon is back. He's back on X. So I kind of wish this was a bigger here so people could see. But he looks like Don Lemon's trying to come back on X. I'm following him. You know I'm following him, folks. And a lot of people were like mad at me because he's, you know, he was really against, boy, we should be careful talking about this, but people that didn't take the shot and, you know, other stuff, medical related. Oh man, this got a lot of views. But at the same time, I love a good redemption arc, man. Who doesn't love a good redemption arc? He also said some pretty horrific things about women, about being past their prime. But you know what? Yeah, a lot of people can be the villain and they can come back and be good people. So we'll see. Time to move on, bro. Time to move on, bro. Time to move on. Oh, my God, dude. These people are just really nut jobs, huh? Tied up with a kibosh. To some people, everything's a distraction. You know? It's wild, man. Okay. So anyway, Don Lemon, we're wishing him the best, man. We're wishing him the best. Let's see if he can have a redemption arc. Let's see if he, escaping from the CNN, maybe he will wake up. Who knows? Okay. let's dig into the jellyfish alien thing. So if you haven't seen Shadow Creatures is old and busted, that is yesterday's news. We have now moved on to...
That's basically showing the heat differential. So it's going like...
Hold on, let me fix my sound. Let's go to the fat headphones. This is my thing. Oh, you found me from Tim's channel. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I think that I like people that are talking about stuff that is not mainstream. But, you know, I like looking at stuff that's out there that's mainstream as well. But I prefer to talk to people that are talking about stuff that other people aren't talking about in general. So here's our alien video or whatever UAP video. I mean, what are we actually even calling this, folks? Is this a UAP? Is this a UFO or is this aliens? Did Jeremy Corbell even say? I'll be honest, I don't listen to a lot of what he says. I kind of wish that this didn't have like him spliced into it and we just saw the videos. What I heard is that supposedly this thing goes into the water, but I didn't see any video of this thing going into the water. They also claim this thing shot off into the sky, and there's no video of that either. So kind of like a little suspicious right off the bat. Like what's going on here with this? Like, do you have video of this thing going in the water or not? If anyone's got that video, please send it over because I would like to see it. So this is what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with some kind of translucent jellyfish thing here. And, of course, now we got to get back to Jeremy Corbell. And I don't know. It's being tracked by infrared for sure. This is a black and white infrared. We can see it's got IR at the top. The reason why this says IR at the top is because they can change it to visual spectrum, I think, whenever they want. But, again, like we were talking about or Jeremy was saying, is like, what is there verifiable about this, right? Did someone go and touch this? Do we have any witness statements about it? Like, there's not a lot paranormal going on here. This thing's not shooting off at warp speed or anything. It's not even moving in any unusual way. It's just floating on by, which is still pretty weird. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, it's not that crazy. I mean, why does he keep splicing himself into the footage? Anyway, so I don't even know what really to say about this. The spikes are weird. This literally looks like a Pokemon to me. Now, as somebody who's played a lot of Pokemon, you could say this is Tentacruel. You could say this is the Jelly Essence, whatever one. But this does not scare me. I'm not even remotely afraid of whatever this thing is going on here. I'm pretty sure whatever this is not going to be able to take over Earth in any way, shape, or form. It's just floating on by. Someone made a comment, well, you'd be scared if it picked up a cow. Maybe. Probably not, though. I feel like I could just outrun it. Oh, man, it's just all him, huh? And is this even the same one? Oh, this is the video of it going... Is it the video of it going in the water? Is this even the same video? Yeah. I don't know. It's weird, so I'm kind of not casting any judgment on it. Plus, yeah, I'm not the kind of person who's going to put down other people's ideas. I think you guys have come to realize that at this point. So it's just an interesting video, I guess. And so right away, when I watched that video, excuse me, I thought, I've seen a lot of other videos like this. And hello, everybody who's in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you guys. Feel free to hit the up like or up vote, whatever button it is. I don't even know. I think that makes more people follow us and watch us. So I thought, oh, you know what? The first thing I thought about this was the Jetpack Man situation. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Jetpack Man situation, but I was living in Southern California when that was going on. Boy, a lot of people got upset at me when I said you can't fly jetpacks and they're not real. So I'm going to reiterate that there is no such thing as flying around a jetpack at 3,000 feet. Sorry, guys, to spoil it for you. That's not a thing that happens. It's not a thing that's real. You know, if you think it is, I'm sorry to burst your bubble. That is not reality. Iron Man is a movie, and there is not real people flying around on jetpacks. So the reason why people call it jetpack is because it's solely because it looks like a jetpack. But you cannot fly around on a jetpack like this. That's not how it works. You would also, the direction of travel is not right either. So like if you were flying on a jetpack, you'd be flying horizontally, not vertically up like this. Okay, big difference, guys. Big difference. So you really just need to understand basic physics to understand why this is not a person flying around on a jetpack. There's 0% chance this is a person on a jetpack. I understand it looks like a person on a jetpack, but it's not. So if that breaks anybody's opinions, then I'm sorry. But that's just basic physics for you in general. Logan, man, I don't care what kind of music, man. Just if you're making content, make whatever you want, man. Make whatever you want. So yes, but if you look at this here and you're to imagine that this is like our other video, you could see how this could be some type of jellyfish-like thing floating around in the sky as well, right? It's got this appendage coming from the bottom of it, and we see this center of mass here. Now, this is also why people, I'm going to say this no matter if you're on the debunker side or the believer side, prosaic explanations have like the lowest level of weight possible. When you say something looks like a balloon or looks like a guy on a jetpack, that doesn't make it somebody like on a jetpack, doesn't make it a balloon, right? So, you know, in general, we have to avoid prosaic explanations. We have to use science and reason to try to conclude what we're actually looking at here. Now, if this was somebody with a jetpack, again, first of all, the jetpack would heat up on their back and probably melt their skin. The second thing as well is the altitude. The higher you go up, the much colder it gets and the much less oxygen. Now, at 3,000 feet, you're probably going to be okay. But if you were to go up to like 10,000 feet, now you're going to start probably experiencing some problems, right? You're probably going to want to have at least some supplemental oxygen. The biggest problem is, how do you land, guys? When you land on an airplane, you're not like at a stop when you land. The reason why your plane is going very high speeds because you needed to create lift. You also need wings to create lift generally. So, I mean, you don't always have to, but it really helps. Plus, you need to be able to control your movement. If this was somebody on a jetpack, they're going to hit the ground, they're going to splatter, right? Yeah, old style Western would be great. That would be great. Thanks, Logan. Sounds awesome. So, you know, just to throw some things out there. So I'm 100% sure this is not a person on a jetpack. It just looks like one in general, which, okay, I agree. It looks like one. Prosaic explanation. Anyway, so there's our first video that could be linked theoretically to the same thing. Same thing related to the whatever guy. Here's the second video. This is another one I found from France. I just Googled for like an hour, guys, because I remembered. Look at this one. There's also like the Bruja witch situation that people were calling this stuff. There's actually more that I remember that I couldn't find, but I've seen other ones as well that are similar to some of this stuff. So this could be a balloon. I don't know. These all could be balloons. Not sure. People tried to explain the Jetpack Man LA being a balloon, but it doesn't look anything like the balloon they put up there. There's a different video that does look like the balloon, but not the ones that we're looking at. The other thing I have a problem with balloons is like a lot of balloons aren't going to be able to go to a very extreme height. I don't know exactly their limit in the sky. But the thing about balloons is that they expand the higher you go up. So this is why they have to use very specific types of material when you see stuff like weather balloons and high altitude balloons. Is that there's a lot of thermodynamics or whatever you call it at play. Probably not thermodynamics, but maybe. Yeah, looking for anomalous motion, I think, is the big thing. And we don't really see a lot of that here as well. So then this one here, wait, is that all of them? No, there's supposed to be 4. We're missing one. Where's the one? Oh, here's the Mexico one. I mean, look at, these are all really similar though, right? These all look really similar. So here's another one. This one's really weird. So this one like floats down towards the ground and then starts hovering on the ground. Look at this one. So it gets down to the ground level. I'm surprised these people didn't go run over there. I'm not sure if I would run over there, but look, there's a train going by. Is that a train or is that a car? No, that's just a car. And then it just like hugs the ground here and floats across the ground. Weird, man. And these are all from different countries, by the way. So these are all from different countries. Yeah, if you guys find more, you want to send them to me or whatever, I'll add to the thread potentially. So we got the France, we got Mexico, and then we also have this one from Russia. The Russia one's pretty good. Again, guys, unless Iron Man is jetpacking around all over the planet here, I don't think this is I don't think this is somebody in a jetpack. Here you go again. All very similar, right? Like these appendage shapes that are out there. And yes, I know people have sent me these videos of these people that are like 20 feet off the ground. That is not the same as somebody who's at 3,000 feet. Not even remotely close, especially not when you're over water. Because why do you guys think they're doing it over water? Because they're afraid that they're going to, if anything goes wrong and they lose their balance, they're going to fall into the water and hopefully not die, right? 3,000 feet, you fall, you're dead. Yes, maybe you have a parachute. Like, where are you hiding the parachute on your jetpack, right? So just, again, guys, you got to use common sense. You'd at a minimum need wings, at a minimum. And you're not going to be upright like this. So pretty weird. Pretty weird. I don't know if this is a balloon or what this is, but it's damn weird for sure. Okay, so I reported on it. People want me to check my Discord. Let me see what we got going on. Yeah, guys, stop sending me the stupid stuff that's not a jetpack, okay? I want you guys, I'm going to post it so you can stop sending me this. I got this like 30 times. I hate to be mean, but this is stupid. I told you in the replies, this is not a jetpack. Having somebody flying 10 feet above the water is not flying around at 3,000 feet. Please, please, ask a pilot, guys. Ask somebody who knows what it's like when you fly in the air, okay? Like, why can't I pull this up? Okay, this is not what we're looking at in those videos. Just to be 100% clear with everyone, this is not what we're looking at in the videos. These are not jetpacks. This is just somebody flying like 20 feet above the water in the water, right? This is totally different than flying at 3,000 feet in the sky. If you don't understand why, take a physics class, okay? Please, guys. Okay. Hopefully we've ruled this out. Like 30 people replied to me with the same exact thing of people in the military on some experimental like hydro thing where like the moment they move their arm slightly, they're going to fall to the ground, right? Like, come on, guys. People really think Iron Man's real, man. I don't get it. There is not people flying around in the sky on jetpacks. That's not a real thing. That's not happening, guys. The worst part is I literally prefaced my comment saying, no, don't send me pictures of guys flying 20 feet above the water. What does everybody immediately do? Send me pictures of people flying 20 feet above the water. Just like, man. Okay. Somebody, I think, asked about the Miami situation before we move on to the next thing. Dalton, which case are you talking? Are you talking about the Miami thing? Let me look. Yeah, guys, did I hear about the Miami thing? Yes, it was the #1 post I've ever made on Twitter. It was the Miami thing. I couldn't believe it got so much traction. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. I just thought, I woke up, I'll just tell you guys again, and then we'll talk about AARO. Oh, yeah, okay, this was the thing from yesterday. I'm going to unrepost this, because I think I posted a link to that one. So, yeah, if you want to check out the Cali-based podcast from yesterday as well, we had a pretty good discussion. We talked about debunkers and all that stuff that's out there. This is a good one. Oh, yeah, and this plane situation, this only having 28,000 views is kind of a crime, man. Look at the whole freaking door popped out. You can see the stars over here. While in mid-flight, these people are just chilling with the oxygen masks out. Did anyone tell these people the oxygen masks only last 30 minutes? I don't think so. Those oxygen masks only last 30 minutes, man. Like, that's barely enough time to get to the ground. Like, this whole thing, like, apparently people's cell phones went flying out the door, and people's cell phones hit the ground, and they weren't broken, which is kind of wild to me. What else about this? Oh, yeah, some baby's, like, shirt got ripped off. That's how powerful the suction was when this door broke. Thank goodness nobody was sitting there. If they were, maybe they're just gone now, and they don't talk about it. But, yeah, this freaks me out. If this happens on my plane, I'm probably never flying again. I'm already scared enough, man. Already scared enough of flying. So, where is it? Okay, down here, guys. Did I report on it? Oh, yes, look at this. 359,000 views. This isn't even the one, my main one. This one has 359,000 views. So yes, I reported on the Miami thing. I even went so far as to post all the interviews I could find until I decided that all these people are just making it up. Okay, once I decided everybody's making it up, and the main part where I decided making it up was, first of all, this guy that actually pulled the scanners up. You can listen to the scanners here, guys.
If they have this schedule for the rear of the arena.
And there was a fight that started.
So the thing about the saga was that it was one of those car get-together things outside in the parking lot. And that's what led to the fight. And you can listen to the scanner on this link if you guys want. And they talk about it. And this pretty much, to my mind, debunks the whole thing. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean 100%, but like 99.9% sure at this point, right? And then, and I'll go into it a little bit more, but I want to first go back to the other post. Where's my other one? Also, if you're in Texas 32nd, guys, take a look at Juan. Juan was actually there during the UAP hearing, sitting behind David Grush, met David Grush, etc. So if you believe in all of that, you probably want to support Juan for disclosure. He's going to be running in Texas 32nd District. Now, just keep in mind, if you don't know how voting works, you can only vote for people who are in your district. I don't live there, so I can't vote for him, but I will go ahead and promote people that are seeking disclosure. Now, where is the thing? Why is this one here? Why is this one even showing up? I don't know. Where is it? Man, where is it? Oh, yeah, down here. Okay. Okay, guys, let's do a little quick recap of the Miami Mall situation because I don't know that I really did. 10 million views. What the hell? 10 million views? What? This is more views than my letter to Congress got after Kim.com retweeted it. This is ridiculous. Now, I'll be honest. This is way too many cop cars. This is just absurd. Even for some kind of parking lot fight, this doesn't make any sense. And this is why the whole thing blew up, right? Because this is just a nonsensical amount of cop cars. I remember seeing it on like January 2nd, and I was like, wait, what? Was there a terrorist attack? Like, what is this? And this is why, like, when I heard about this on January 5th in the morning, this was the same morning I was about to go on Tim Pool, actually. And I'm like, wait, this is, like, people are talking about shadow beans. And I'm like, okay, well, this could be a number of cop cars you bring for shadow beans. That, I guess, makes sense. And I started seeing, like, lots of big people reporting on this, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to jump in, too. And so I make a quick post on it. And then I went on Tim Pool, did the Tim Pool stuff. And I looked back again. I saw it. You know, I before I made a post, I saw a witness. And the witness seemed credible. Now, of course, people can lie. And it seems like they did. And here's the other big thing about people lying is that because this happened 4 days earlier, it's easier for people to make up stories. And I remember I saw some tweets where people were already on the first saying that there was like shadow aliens. And so what happened was people most likely saw that and then they started to invent the stories around it. As the hype built up around it, that's when people started to, almost 11 million. That's when people started to then really add all their own stories for clout. That's when that guy Mo did as well. So early on that same day, then I saw the same witness. This was the same witness. And this was how much later? Like not even, 8 hours later, even less. I saw this guy come out and say he'd made it all up and never been to Miami. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I make this post. And then, you know, and you can see all the Tim Pool stuff, right? So then we had Tim Pool. This is where I met Tim Pool. Tim Pool's a nice guy. I think that, you know, he doesn't really think the videos are real. That's fine. We don't have to agree on everything. But I still think he was a cool guy, and I really appreciated talking to him. And I just think it was like a once-in-a-lifetime experience, probably. And I think if you want to know more about that, you can check out a podcast from 2 days ago. And then what happened was this woman came on and said that the next day, said that she was down there and interviewed some people. And no, it's not a joke. It's really real, blah, blah, blah. And I went, well, okay, we only saw one witness. You know, maybe it doesn't mean that it's necessarily fake. And yes, I made a somewhat sexist joke in her replies about how, you know, people believe attractive people because it's funny. And yes, they do in general. Doesn't mean that I believe her. I was making a joke, guys. but decided to report on it. And the other reason is that I had already seen this interview of this graffiti guy, and he was saying it was some kind of hologram that people put down, like some kind of box, and a hologram came out. And so I was like, okay, maybe. And then I saw these other two as well, and these guys also look pretty legit. And there's actually a third guy as well now. And I saw this one where this guy's claiming that his dad is like running for sheriff, and we looked it up, and he is. So this seems like it was also an elaborate hoax, where they were, just biting on the fame or whatever related to it. I'm not really sure. And so we saw that. So I made these posts, and then I jumped in this space with Mo, this guy Mo, right? Who was definitely just doing this for clout, because he was good. He was believable, actually, for a while, right? So he was believable until I asked him. And so I had Keemstar jump on as well, who I love Keemstar, by the way. I love that guy. In a platonic way. I just think he's funny as hell. So I had Keemstar jump in, and I'm like, hey, grill this guy, right? Grill him. And so we was grilling him, and he was answering all the questions right. I started getting really skeptical when he mentioned it looked like a Pokemon. That's when I'm like, okay. And then I thought of a good question, which was just ask him what day it was. Because people were asking about the receipts. And then he said it was January 3rd. That's 2 days off. You guys, you don't forget what day you saw shadow aliens, man. That's not a thing that happens. So this was the one where I was like, okay, this guy's definitely lying. Right? And that's why I was pretty skeptical. And it seems like these people were just inventing their stories, right? So I think the reality is that this was a made-up stuff, made-up viral event. Still pretty fun. I love little viral events like that go wild. But it doesn't seem to be real. Although, yeah, it probably boosted our engagement quite a lot. I don't think it's going to hurt the case, but even if it does, I just don't care anymore. Whoa, my God. 16 million? Ridiculous, man. And for the record, people, is it 10 million views or whatever does not equal $6,000. I don't know. A lot of people, I think especially young kids, think that like being a viral influencer is like some kind of way to become really rich. It's definitely not. I think that it's one of those situations where if you're at the very, very top, of course, you can make lots of money. If you're like the people like Destiny, who has 8,000 people watching you live stream, yeah, you're making a ton of money, right? But when you're somebody like me who has, well, almost 300 viewers, this is not making any significant amounts of money. Not even 16 million impressions won't even be that much, man. Maybe it'll be like $100 or something like that. It's not money you can live off of. And just for the record, guys, when you grow up, for the kids out there, when you grow up and become an adult, a few $100s is not very much money, man. Rent is a lot, even if you live in places that don't have high cost of living. Which is why I have a normal job that I definitely want to keep and continue to do that in general until I find a better job. Okay. So, have we covered the Miami situation enough? We're good on that. Should we dig into the fun stuff? AARO. We've got 300 people watching. Everybody wants to know about AARO. Okay. So, I didn't stream last night, everybody. And I didn't stream last night because I was going to get some food before I was about to stream. And all of a sudden, I get a phone call from the East Coast. I can tell by the area code. And I actually thought I was getting pranked or something by one of these people that have my phone number initially. But I figured, okay, we're going to pick it up. I didn't recognize the number. Pick it up. Turns out it's a military person. I'm not going to say their rank in general. Not going to say their rank. I don't think I said what their rank was. But they told me what their rank is, and they told me what their real name is and everything. Said that they were calling from AARO. That they mentioned that I had, submitted the case. AARO, you can see the screen right there. All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. This is the one where Sean Kirkpatrick was the head of it until recently. He stepped down because he had so much negative press because they made a statement saying that they hadn't seen anything anomalous. And so I'll go ahead and check it out. Let's see. And I understand why you guys hate it. It was pretty funny. So that was one of the most things that definitely made me sure that it wasn't somebody who was joking or whatever. Is that they knew about how they were viewed by the public, right? Yeah. So here's the new leadership changes that were done. I'm trying to be very careful about who I spoke to. What I will say is the person that I spoke to says they were the person that set up the website. So that was pretty interesting. And they wanted to get information. They were like in the historical something or other. And they wanted to get all the information about the case. They had not seen the videos, so they weren't familiar with the videos at all. And I told them the information. There was actually a disclaimer they gave me, guys. And the disclaimer was that, like, I wasn't under investigation. That he also told me, I just revealed some information that it was a man. Maybe it was a woman. They told me that not only am I not under investigation, but I would not have to sign an NDA. That's fake news. That you don't have to sign an NDA when you submit something to AARO. And I told them as well that, I'm not trying to be dishonest or anything, because I told them that I'm a contractor, but it's not have anything to do with like UAPs or anything like that. They said that, generally they're trying to get information from people that have firsthand experience and firsthand accounts. And I said, yeah, technically I don't have a firsthand account, but that you guys crack me up in the chat. Technically, I don't have a first-hand account, but I know the person who potentially leaked the videos, right? So I gave them Edward C. Lynn's name, and I said Edward C. Lynn went to prison for 6 years. It's way too many years for this. I told them that the information that, like, this, and then they said, they straight up told me that they hadn't seen anything that was anomalous, right? And they knew that there was, like, reports, of course, and they knew what people would think of AARO in general. They told me that they look at social media. They even mentioned Reddit. I wanted to say, like, don't go look at Reddit. But they look at Twitter, and they look at Reddit. So if you guys are curious, they are out there, and they are monitoring social media to see what people are saying about them, which is not that surprising. And so, yeah, I had like a good conversation with them. I went through the case pretty much the same way I would go through it on a podcast, right? And for the record, guys, if you post any information about this that may have been in the Discord or whatever, I'm going to block you. So don't post anything about it in personal information. I'm not joking around. I don't want people to be attacking these people, and I don't want people to be attacking AARO or anything like that. So they're generally looking for firsthand accounts from military personnel who have seen anomalous events. But if you look at the requirements, it's a pretty fine line. Like, although they told me that it could be things that are classified or not classified. Guys, why are you asking what AARO is? It's literally on the screen, man. It's right here. Just read. So their purpose is to try to figure out if there's UAPs are real. This is the government's organization to try to figure out if UAPs are real. Is that clear enough then for this? And I said, I'm handing it to you on a silver platter here because all the information I'm giving them is verifiable. Now, what they said is that they want to be focused on the, UFO side of it and the anomalous flying side of it and the stuff that's verifiable and not necessarily the conspiracy angle of what happened to the plane. And what I told them is then look at these videos, right? We have videos of orbs flying around a plane with gravity engines in front of them. And that the information is verifiable, that you can verify if that's an MQ-1C Gray Eagle. You can verify if that's our Sibbers video with the Sentient program. This is stuff because this is what they can do, is that they can go behind closed doors and look at classified information, right? That's huge. And this is what we need because we can't pull up classified information. That's what I told them as well, is like, I don't have any way to prove that this stuff is the real videos, but they can. They can go look it up. They can talk to those organizations. They can go take them into skiffs, and they can look at that information that's out there. And I told him too, like, I know that they report to the Department of Defense and the Pentagon. I mean, he literally told me that. So, you know, they told me that they report to the Pentagon, and I'm like, okay, you know. But I asked as well. Like, we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about David Grush. We talked about the person told me as well that they've interviewed a lot of different people, and they kind of insinuated that they've interviewed people like David Grush. We talked about whether or not they would kill people over this, and they said that they didn't think there was any credible evidence that people have been killed over this. And I kind of told them, well, you know, might want to look again. So essentially what I did was I told them to check out the drone video, check out the satellite video, try to go to those organizations like the NRO, the Navy, etc., try to confirm that that's what the footage looks like. And then I told them, and I gave them the name of Edward C. Lin. I said that try to compel Edward C. Lin to talk, because Edward C. Lin would be able to confirm that this is why he was thrown in prison, right? Behind closed doors. He won't be able to do that in public, but maybe he'll do that to them in private. They also, I'll tell you this, no, the AARO does not know everything I know. They don't. Now, what it did say is that they might have people that monitor social media and therefore are aware of this situation, but from my interactions with them, they're completely in the dark. I think they're completely in the dark as to what's going on. I also gave him the general's name, Joseph F. Dunford. So the reason why they said that nobody had been killed was because they said they talked to a lot of people, and they didn't think that there was any credible evidence of people having been killed. It's a little different, guys. We got to realize we're in the conspiracy community. I did not record it. No, I didn't record it. I was sitting outside a restaurant on my phone and in my car when that was happening. So I gave them the general's name too, and I said that, guys, please chill out, man. The problem with conspiracy-minded people in some cases is you guys take it too far, man. You got to realize that, like, they're just normal people out there. The person was talking to me about the football game that was going to happen later as well, right? Like, we were having a normal, like, person-to-person conversation, right? You guys are looking at too deep a little bit. Unfortunately, there's nothing that they needed to convince me of. That's not the way the conversation was going. It was the other way around, right? And I will guarantee you this is a real person. They emailed me on my real email account that I tied to the request that I put in without me asking it, okay? They told me what their name and rank is, man. I can look them up. It's not the same as a hoax, guys. Like, the hoaxers don't tell you what their names are and where they're at, right? like. And the real people, they tell me their real title, their real role in the organization. I asked twice, so just keep it down. Let's keep it on earth right now, guys. But yes, of course, I'm skeptical of them, and I'm skeptical of whether or not they're going to be able to. Anything's going to happen. So what questions do you guys have on it? Josh, you're pushing the limit, man. In fact, I'm going to put you on timeout for 30 minutes. You need to chill out. Next time it's permanent. Like, a lot of conspiracy-minded people, you guys take it way too far, man. Way too far. Like, the reality is the government's made up of individuals. And individuals are not necessarily evil. Some people can be. But it's when people get together that they do evil things. So you have to keep in mind that there are normal people, especially in the military. I work with them almost on a daily basis. Doesn't mean I trust every single individual, but it doesn't mean that everybody out there is evil. So you got to relax with some of that. Some of you, when you're conspiracy-minded, you take it too far. Not everything in the world is a conspiracy. So just keep that in mind, guys. Let's see what questions we have. Are jellyfish edible? I'm going to get a follow-up to add the information to the case. They also knew that I was one of the first people to put a case in, which we knew that because we were one of the first people that posted on Twitter that, you know, when that website went up, I was like one of the first people on there. Yeah, to the hammer, everything is nails. Exactly. If you're out there looking for conspiracies, you'll find conspiracies everywhere. But not everything's that deep, guys. The more likely scenario is that it is actually just AARO and probably nothing will come of it. But even so, again, like I tell people, everybody's like, don't talk to the government. Don't talk to the government. No, we're going to talk to every single person who wants to talk to us. That's how it's going to work. I don't care what people think. I don't care who people tell me not to talk to. The more that people tell me not to talk to somebody, the more likely I will talk with them. That's the reality. Do I think I'll ever talk to Corbell? Probably not. Probably not. And definitely we have to follow the government's path, because if these are classified videos, there's no other way where we can get the information out there. Let me take this off. We need the type of people that can go and find classified information, and they can go look at it and they can confirm it. I also told them, so like I pretty much told them that everything around the case was verifiable. I even talked to them about the fire scenario. I talked to them about the witnesses. What else did I talk to them about? They asked about what would be the motive for this, and I told them about the engineers, the free-scale semiconductor engineers who are tied to the technology in question. The nice thing is they were open-minded, man. They weren't like joking around with it. They didn't hang up on me or anything like that. Like, why would I not talk to them? There's no downside whatsoever to talking to AARO. It can only help out. I told them about Joseph F. Dunford as well. And I mentioned the source that had talked to us. And I told them this was the only post that I deleted related to the investigation. This is why some of you guys don't know about the Joseph F. Dunford stuff. Because this was something back when I had like 10,000 followers, that I posted the Joseph F. Dunford information, which was that a source came to me early on in the investigation. And they were actually trying to find people in general related to the case. Somebody pointed them in my direction. And they told me that the general's nephew had shown the general the videos and that the general did not laugh at them. And I was like, okay, well, who's this general, right? And it was the reason why they were credible is the first thing that they asked me was, do you think the videos are real? And this is what I told the AARO person as well, exactly. And I said, well, that's kind of absurd because I'm the person out here telling people the videos are real. Why would someone even ask me that? That's the only time anyone's ever asked me if I think the videos are real. Just to be honest with you guys, nobody else has ever asked me if I think the videos are real in this whole investigation, because people know that I think the videos are real. So this goes to tell you that they had no idea who I was, etc. And then I looked up the general, Joseph F. Dunford, and we can do so right now, guys. And I went, holy crap, like this guy was in charge. Right? This guy is the guy who was in charge. We're looking at him. So if we look him up, we can just click on his name here. Look what he was during the time when the plane went missing. Commander of the International Security Assistance Force and United States Forces in Afghanistan from February 2013 to August 2014. This is the guy who would have been in charge. This is the guy who would have been in charge of the mission. If this is an operation that we're looking at in these videos, he's the one who's in charge. So right away I'm going, okay, if a source comes to you and tells you that this guy who I'd never heard of before, right? The source comes to me, how would the source even know about this guy? Nobody knows about this guy unless you're in the know, right? So if he had made up a story, this is a pretty elaborate story to make up out of the blue. And he just tells me this is the guy's name. He doesn't tell me like, oh, this guy was in charge. He just tells me this is the guy's name who he showed the videos. And I'm going, well, okay, that seems like the person who would be in charge of this mission, if we're looking at a mission right here, right? If this is a mission to teleport this plane or something, then we're looking at the guy who's in charge. So what does he do after that? So they never find the plane. Despite the fact that they never find the plane, what happens to him next? He gets promoted. He gets promoted to the highest rank military officer in the country. Highest rank military officer in the country. Chairman to the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Principal military advisor to the President and Secretary of Defense and the National Security Council for 4 years. That's quite the promotion, man. That's quite the promotion. Highest ranked military officer. I mean, guys, this is like as big as the Edward C. Lynn stuff. I just don't want to blow up this guy's spot because I respect the military, but I'm pretty sure he's implicated in the plane disappearing, man. Like, that's exactly what you would think of is going to happen to the person that pulled this mission off and was able to cover it up. Right? You pull this mission off, you cover it up, yeah, I'm going to promote you, man. Because we know you can keep a secret, right? And, yeah, you keep his mouth shut. Guys, it gets better. So I looked this up and I go, holy crap. He got promoted to the highest ranked military officer? Well, what do you think he's been doing since then, guys? Any guesses in the chat? What do you think he's been doing since 2019? Any guesses? Whoa, look at this. Oh, there he is. Director since February of 2020. Retired U.S. Marine Corps General Mr. Dunford has served as a senior managing director and partner. Previously, he served as the 19th chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff until his retirement. He's on the board of directors at Lockheed Martin. Board of directors at Lockheed Martin. Hello? What? I mean, come on, man. This is just, it's too on the nose, man. It's too on the nose. I was already sitting there saying we're looking at Lockheed Martin orbs. And then I'm going, wait, this guy became board of directors at Lockheed Martin? Board of directors, who are we? Leadership Governance Board, board of directors, Joseph F. Dunford. I mean, wow, man. So I post this, and the post takes off. Like, keep in mind, this is back when I had like 5,000 followers, and it gets like over 100,000 views on Twitter in under a day. And I posted it because I was freaked out because I had called the FBI, and the FBI was acting sketchy. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to post this. I had been sitting on it because the source had come to me, and he says, keep this in your back pocket. Like, don't post this right away. And so after that, I posted it because I'm like, screw it. I'm not hiding any more information. This is too nuts. And the next day, the source messages me and begs me to take it down. Begs me. I post all the conversations with the source because I like to be transparent. Like, if I'm being lied to, I want to have it all out there, right? The same way why when I was being scammed, I streamed it all so that people could realize, like, be transparent about this is the best thing you can do. So I posted all the conversations I had with the source as well. And in my replies, you got people like, oh, you burned your source. You burned your source. I'm like, dude, I don't care, man. This is too big. It's like way too big. So the source was begging me for like a day and a half. Take it down, take it down, take it down, take it down. And I'm like, why would I take it down? Like, I'm sorry if this hurts your relationship with the nephew of the general, but like, it's just too big, right? Like, what? That's not going to get somebody killed. It's just your relationship with the nephew. And then I started to realize, like, there might be more going on here. Like, this person might actually be in danger for revealing this information. Maybe they are the nephew, right? Maybe they're also in the military actively, right? And I have these messages still I could show, but I'm not going to at the moment. So I did end up deleting it. I deleted it. This is the only post I ever deleted related to the investigation. Only one. The Joseph F. Dunford piece. And just to prove it to you guys, I think I still have the original that I made. Let me look. Oh, no, I don't. Do I not have it? Oh, yeah, I do have it. Okay, guys, just in case you don't believe me, I'm going to show you this. So 100% proof. Look at the date stamp on this thing I'm about to pull up. General Joseph F. Dunford, 10/14/2023. This was 3 months ago. This is when I made the post 3 months ago. 10/14/2023. I'm going to show it to you guys right now. There it is. Here it is, guys. This the reason why I'm going through this is because I didn't have you can't see the post from the source in here. So I would like to preface this by saying I have the utmost respect for our military, but there are people out there that know the MH370 videos are real, and they're staying silent while the world is being gaslit. I was saving this for when it's needed, and today is that day. This information will burn the source, and for that, I'm deeply apologetic. I don't think it will put them in danger, just ruin a friendship what I've determined is an acceptable cost. I will not name them. Several weeks ago, a person wanted to tell me something. First, they asked me if I believed the videos were real, which I thought was odd. After I told them that I did think that they were real, they told me that they were aware of a general who had seen the videos and after 20 seconds knew they were real, or didn't laugh at them, however you want to look at it. The source is friends with the general's nephew, and that nephew showed the general the videos. That general's name is Joseph F. Dunford. I wasn't familiar with him, so I looked him up, and wow, what a career. He previously served as the assistant commandant of the military corps from 2010 to 2012 and was commander of the International Security Assistance Force and the United States Afghanistan from February 2013 to August 2014. That's when the plane went missing. General Joseph F. Dunford Jr. served as the 19th chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the nation's highest-ranking military officer and principal military advisor to the President, Secretary of Defense, and National Security Council from October 1st, 2015 through September 30th, 2019. That's 4 years as the highest-ranked military officer. Yeah, the feds are definitely watching my account. Let's be honest, guys. Look what I'm talking about right here. If they're not watching this stream right now, then they're not doing their jobs correctly. He retired on November 1st, 2019. So what is he up to now? He's on the board of directors at Lockheed Martin. Director since February of 2020. And this is just kind of what it is, repeated it once again. I posted a link here as well to a press release related to it. Lockheed Martin today announced his board of directors has elected former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Joseph F. Dunford, to the board effective February 10th, 2020. General Dunford's service to the nation at the highest levels of military leadership will bring valuable insight to our board, said Marilyn Hewson, chairman, president, and CEO of Lockheed Martin. His experience in complex global operations and risk management, give a little wink, including cybersecurity threats, is a tremendous asset and will enhance the board oversight in key business areas. I wonder if it enhances their key business areas of superconductive harmonic orbs. He will serve on the corporation's Classified Business and Security Committee. I even forgot about this. Classified Business and Security Committee. And nominating and corporate governance committee. There's another link to that. And then I said, retired General Joseph F. Dunford, please do the right thing and tell the world the truth about the MH370 videos. I'm begging you. We can accept it. I offer my help in any way necessary. Pretty wild, right? Pretty wild. Okay. Yeah, I mean, why do you guys think that we're like 100% sure this is Lockheed Martin? Everything lines up to Lockheed Martin. We've got coherent matter wave beams. We've got General, who's on the board of directors at Lockheed Martin. We already thought in UFOlogy that they have UFOs. They've been reverse engineering. You've got Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, where you've got Ben Rich out there saying that they have the technology to take ET home. I mean, guys, it's Lockheed Martin, man. I'm happy to be proven wrong, but man, everything points to Lockheed Martin. It's just absurd, right? So I may repost that at some point without the chat messages from the source. The source ended up deleting all their social media after that, by the way. They deleted all their social media after that. After they begged me to take everything down, and I did take it down, they deleted their entire social media. Is that what somebody who's hoaxing would do? I mean, it was pretty wild, man. Pretty wild. So that's why I told the AARO, talk to Joseph F. Dunford. And I said it's probably going to be hard to get him to talk because he's now with a private company. But they said that they have ways to talk to people. They can't force anyone to say anything. Let's see. Everybody wants to know. Just read the post here. For the people who have just coming in and want to know what AARO is the government body that's investigating UFOs. There, you've caught up. Caught up now. Okay. Any other questions about AARO, guys? Any other questions about AARO? And everybody, for the 360 people watching, well, now you know about Joseph F. Dunford. Now you understand why we are, blasting Lockheed Martin. In my mind, like, there's a couple things where I can't prove it, but I would bet anything on it. One of them is Diego Garcia. I would take all my life savings and put it on Diego Garcia if we were at a casino, and I would say, okay, show me where the plane went, right? That's how confident I am in Diego Garcia. I'm also extremely confident that what we're looking at these videos is reverse engineered technology. And this is also what I told the AARO, because they asked me, why do you think it's reverse engineered technology? And I told them, look at the videos and you can tell that there's intent in the videos. They're already filming before the orbs show up. These orbs are easily outrunning the plane. I mean, they're able to track it and catch up to it instantly. You can tell from the camera and how they zoom in that they're clearly trying to grab intelligence from this. They're already zooming in like before the orbs even show up here, right? They're ready for whatever is about to happen here. Like, to me, this is 100% a military operation. This has got to be our technology. It's not little aliens flying around in these orbs. The orbs are very big, but that's because it's a non-radiating barrier. Whatever's inside there is much smaller, in my opinion at least. And I think the monopole might be the magnetic monopole as well, this heat signature here that we're looking at. From what Bob Green here, I'm starting to understand the science a little bit more now. I'm reading a lot of stuff around it. If they've created a magnetic monopole here, this could be how they're able to create such a strong, tremendous force that actually allows for this field to exist around the orbs. But this is a computer program that's running and controlling these orbs. This is not individuals. They're being remote controlled. I'm almost 100% sure. And it zooms in and then zooms out like right before it gets zapped. Too weird. Like, there's so much intent in this. And like somebody else was pointing out, it looks like the orbs actually aren't orienting to focus directly at the plane. Right here, they're actually focusing their things down here. Like, this is where the orientation is. It's like they're focusing potentially their orientations of the beams in front to a forward location. At least that's what I think. I'm not 100% sure. But you can still see this line here still exists afterwards. Ken seems to think that that's an airplane. There's no hidden airplane in this. I don't know. Some people, like, they just don't want it to be real so badly that they have to come up with their own reasons why it's not. And I just don't care at this point, right? I'm actually quite happy with the idea that there's not as many people on board with, this viral sensation. Because I think it attracts too much negative attention. I'd rather it just be a group of people that like are digging into it, really hardcore, and then we work with people like AARO, who can verify it. If it turns out that it's fake somehow, I have no problem with it. Now, if the AARO comes back to me and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's totally not what it looks like," I'm gonna be like, "Well, you got to give me some proof, man, because you work for the Pentagon." So, like people mentioned, it's going to be kind of hard to believe them since they literally work for the Pentagon. This is the Pentagon in the background. So I need to talk to Edward Lin and him to tell me that he did not take video of the airplane. That's probably what it would take. I also told them if they talk to Edward Lin to let him know that he's my hero, just in case. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there's no way Joseph Dunford's going to talk about this. The reason why Lockheed Martin put him on the board is because he doesn't talk, right? He's probably an iron trap. No way he's letting the information leak, right? Okay. What do you think about the idea of future whistleblowers? Now, that's a really good question, right? And we talked about David Grush. AARO and I talked about David Grush a little bit, and I talked about how they tried to leak his private information and stuff like that to discredit him. And we talked about how they'll try to discredit people and not kill them. And I think that there's a lot of people in the military. You have to realize what military-minded people are like, right? The military-minded people are, they believe in their oaths. They believe in defending the country. I do too. I even told the guy, like, I'm a patriot. I don't want Russia and China to know about this kind of technology, but that's MH370, man. We stole a plane using advanced technology. The families deserve the absolute truth. So tell the truth, man. It's not that hard. Tell the truth. The world can take the idea that we have advanced technology. You know what? Russia and China, they've already figured these videos out, man. If Russia and China haven't figured out these videos are real, then they are obsolete compared to us. Whoever has this technology has breakaway civilization level technology. We're not afraid of nukes. This renders nukes completely obsolete. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like, this is the kind of technology we're dealing with here. Do I need help with anything? That actually is a good question. I definitely do need help with stuff. I'm falling really, really, really far behind is the reality of the situation. Like, look at all this stuff we've got to work on that I'm just so far behind on. I think we covered Matthias Chang well enough. Probably not going to do too much more into that. We could, there's a lot of different posts we can do here. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat here. Are all the passengers dead? I mean, I don't have remote viewing capabilities and psychic capabilities, but I would say that it's not looking good for the passengers no matter how you shake it. Between the fire event and then this macroscopic phase conjugation event that we see in the video here. I did speak to somebody who knows about the science in general, and they said that it's very unlikely that people survive this. Which is why I'm thinking we're going to talk about, is the remote control thing on here? That's not even listed on here. Because I think that there is also a scenario where remote control is at play here, where either it's being remote controlled right now or afterwards when these people all get zapped, that they remote control the plane after that. Oh, yeah, Hermes, your explainer video. I want to post that. That also is, man, I see that I'm so far behind on stuff. I'll probably post that tomorrow while I'm at work because I don't have to do much for that. Have I tried CE5? People actually asked me that. I was thinking we were talking about that with Chad yesterday. But I also have to edit those as well. I've got to edit all my Hard Truths podcasts and reload them. And I want to increase the production quality a little bit so that I meet the weird YouTube video requirements and stuff like that. So that's the AARO stuff. The CE5 stuff is interesting. I thought this idea that consciousness could project onto reality is a really interesting one. And so I did try to like meditate and see if I could somehow, I don't know how you would do it, but the way that I did it was I just visualized some kind of being or talking to some kind of other alternative being, similar to how you might try to talk to God and see if anything happened, and nothing happened for me. So I guess you could say I tried CE5 in that sense, but I've never gone out to the desert or whatever with Dr. Greer and seen that stuff. Yeah. So I 100% believe an airplane can be remote controlled. I mean, I'm talking about teleporting an airplane, so it's not hard for me to believe that you can remote control an airplane. The reason why I think that teleportation is more, this is hard to say, is that why I think that what we're looking at here is more believable than the plane being remote controlled to Diego Garcia is because the evidence doesn't line up for the remote control scenario, especially because of the fire. The fire also rules out the remote control scenario. This plane's not going to be able to fly for 8 hours while on fire. They need a way to put the fire out, which might be what's happening here. This might be putting the fire out. And even if it wipes out all the passengers, maybe they just took the chance because they knew these passengers were doomed, right? But on the other side, you could remote control the plane, and you can remote control it to Diego Garcia. Now, the reason why I think that they probably weren't all dead is two different reasons. One, the plane was flying very low when it flew over the Maldives. So when it flew over the Maldives, the reason why it'd be flying low is because you're trying to get oxygen for the surviving passengers. And then the Philip Wood picture at Diego Garcia. So there's some hope. You're just not a chosen antenna. Maybe. I don't know, man. Yeah, I think theoretically it's survivable according to the science. if they're able to create an electromagnetic field around the plane. If they're able to do that, maybe. Maybe. Okay. Okay. Let's see. What should we work on, guys? What do you guys think? Any shout outs here? Let's see what all these Discord messages are about. Okay. There's also, let's look at some other stuff real quick. Where is it? Okay, here's physicists entangling particles that are macroscopic in size, I believe. Entangling molecules. This is different than just entangling information. Quantum entanglement. I mean, I was surprised that Tim Pool isn't a little bit more open-minded to this, because if you think that quantum teleportation is real, then I don't know how. I mean, it's just scaling it up, right? Yeah, do some remote viewing. Go for it, man. Go for it. And this is like the science that we're talking about, guys, is like cutting edge. This is, oh, it's Matthias Chang, guys. A lot of people who are of Chinese descent, they use Western names because they'll have like a Chinese name, but it's too hard for Westerners to pronounce. So they usually have a Western name that they go with. A lot of times they're biblical names. Matthias, Matt, Matthew, John, stuff like that. So this one is December 7th. I'm going to go ahead and put this in my my science posts. This is not the one I wanted to look at. Let's close this. Did I already have this? I already had this. I'm going to delete this. Okay. Oh yeah, this one. Oh yeah. This is interesting. So Jeremy was just talking about this. I wonder if Jeremy is out there, you should probably look at this. This apparently is what, it's all about resonance, right? Resonance, which is, and that's what we're looking at here, is we're looking at like magnetic field lines. You create your toroid here, right? Here's your positive and your negative. Now that I'm looking at this, this is a toroid. This is an electromagnet we're looking at here. You coil the wires around it, right? And then this is what your magnetic field lines are going to show up as and look like. And then you have this focus point right in the middle. And it's all resonant, right? Where all of these things, the shape, all 6 of these converge, and you're going to have things that are going to be counteracting one another, fields that are counteracting one another. It's pretty weird. This actually is, Now that I'm learning more and more about this, it's interesting. What was this? There you go. Gravitational diode. Huh. Notice we always see these toroidal shapes everywhere. I would never have believed in all this stuff with shapes and what have you, but it does seem to be key. What was that again? Yeah, everything here is about resonance. I would say try to avoid the term sacred geometry because it gets too much into the woo, guys. But talking about stuff like toroids, shapes, like people who aren't into the spiritual aspect will be able to understand that. Yeah, he was just talking about this an hour ago. Like, yeah. And here's your entanglement right here, right? And so, you know, all we got to do is scale it up. I wonder if we should make a post about this. We probably should. I'm already getting tired. Okay, let's close. Let's leave this up for now. I want to do the NRO. Oh, let's see. What should we do? What should we do? Trying to decide. I think I saw. Oh, hello. Thank you, Jay. Lone Gunman pilot episode. What was it about? Can you just tell us? Okay, here we go. Let's look at it, guys. Steal computer chip. It's remote control plane. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to dig too much into the 9/11 conspiracy stuff. It's a tragedy either way. Whether or not it's a false flag or not, I don't know. Yeah, Chad, the problem, you probably missed the earlier part. The problem, boy, some dogs are losing their minds. The problem with the jellyfish video is that there's nothing verifiable. Like, what are we going to look into related to it? We don't even know what we're looking at. Is that an alien being? Is that a UAP? Like, what? None of it. We're not seeing anything anomalous either. It's not moving at any weird speeds, not making any weird turns. We're not seeing any gravity engines, you know? So it's like, it's hard to really dig too much into that. What are these? Well, that link didn't work. That's fine. Okay. Did we ever post about teleportation? I don't think we did. Okay, I think we're gonna do a post about teleportation again. We haven't done a lot, so I'm gonna prep this one real quick for tomorrow, I think. So I have some content while I'm working that I don't have to do it all, and then I think we'll do NRL 39. Oh, I'm definitely too trusting, guys. Hey, my channel, thank you very much for the donation. Frank Zapata, inventor of the flyboard air. Yeah, I mean, I think, guys, we've gone through the jetpack stuff, man. Everyone wants to convince me the jetpacks are real. I mean, if we can teleport an airplane, I'm sure we can create a jetpack. I'm just telling you, we're not looking at a guy on a jetpack in those videos. They call it Jetpack Man because that's what the news needs to call it, right? But we will because you donated. Look up Frank Zapata. Yeah, I mean, you're going to die if you fly around in something like this. I just want you guys to be clear. You're going to die if you fly around in something like this. Why does he have a gun? This, like, I might actually ask Timothy Abarino about this, though. What is this, dude? What is this? You're going to die if you fly around in one of these things, guys. I'm just trying to help you guys out. The reason why people fly, like, right above the water is because, like, this is like surfing. Like, one false move and that's it. Game over, man. Game over. Like, yeah, see, the reason why he's doing this, like, right above the water is because if you were to try to go any higher, first of all, I'm not sure this thing can get enough lift to go as high as he needs to go. And second of all, he's going to die. Like, this here is not a jetpack. People talk about this thing. I mean, it's cool. It's like a water engine, right? But that's because there's cool water blowing through here, right? Imagine if you have a hot engine on your back, right? Like the Rocketeer. You're going to melt. So, yes, I think this stuff's neat, but this is not jetpacks, guys. You're not going to fly on 10,000 feet. Also, I was going to make a comment about how I like how not a lot of people are donating anymore because it was starting to make me feel awkward, especially with the huge amounts some people were donating. But now you guys are starting to donate again. So anyway, I appreciate it. I do thank you guys. I like the smaller donations if you just want to get my attention. Isaac says, don't trust Christopher Mellon. He's an occult big time. Yeah. I don't think you should be calling people occultists and stuff like that. It doesn't surprise me. YouTube's going to delete it. Realize that YouTube's pretty harshly censored. But I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody straight up. Unless they're coming and saying that we've got technology that can destroy the world, then, and that reminds me, Richard Dotty. So here's some more spice for our viewers that are out there. Yesterday, Richard Dotty, there was a space, Hey Ocean and Ulrich were the ones who I think were hosting and co-hosting it. And so I asked Richard Dotty, could this technology be used to create doomsday weapons? You know what his answer was? I'm not going to comment on that. That's what he said. Whoa. That was a weird answer, man. Like, that's an answer where, like, yes, you can create doomsday weapons out of this. Like, that's definitely what I gleaned from that. I mean, he was sitting here talking about what the aliens look like, all the different species of aliens and what they look like. And then I asked him about, okay, well, what can this technology lead to? If you can teleport an object, can you create a doomsday weapon? And he says, I'm not going to comment on that. What? That was wild, man. Like, okay. I was like, and that was it. I kind of left the thing after that because I have to get some more sleep, guys. I've been going to sleep way too late, man, and it's hard for me to work in the morning. Somebody just asked about my work. What do you do in your everyday life? I've been asked this several times. I am in a healthcare IT, I guess you could say consultant, if you want. I like to consider myself, so first of all, the reason why I don't talk about my job in any level of detail is because I don't have a media clearance to talk about my job. And if you don't have a media clearance and I were to talk on social media about my job, I could lose my job very, very easily. Okay? So that's the reason why I don't talk about it more. It doesn't have anything to do with hiding information or anything related to that. I like to call myself a database architect. And the reason why I call myself a database architect is all of the healthcare systems that are out there, they have databases that they're saving all the medical information and what have you, and it's like a big computer game. When I played World of Warcraft, I would tell people it's like World of Warcraft times like 10. It's like the biggest video game you've ever seen. And what I can say very generally is that you get divided up into different like areas of the system, right? So that you control like maybe the laboratory aspect of the system, or radiology aspect, or pharmacy aspect. And I've been doing the job 20 years or so. This is going to sound egotistical, but I would consider myself one of the premier experts on the planet related to the system that I work with. Because there's just not a lot of people that have that level of expertise, especially from the architect level. The reason why I would say I'm an architect is you think about what an architect does. They design it. They explain how the system works, right? And I'm familiar with SQL as well. I can write SQL code. So, look up what SQL is if you want to know more about that. But yeah, MH370x is not paying the bills anytime soon. That's 100% sure. So yes, I am definitely trying to keep my day job. So yes, HIPAA, you actually spelled the acronym correctly, Fu King. HIPAA is the Healthcare Information Portability and Accountability Act. And HIPAA is what protects people from like someone like me just opening up people's charts. I don't have a reason to open up somebody's chart. I'm not allowed to go open it, right? What I will say in general is that you guys should realize that somebody who's like in IT, for example, it's pretty easy to have a reason to look up someone's chart. Now, not directly a specific person's chart, but let's say there's an issue going on and I need to figure out why this issue is happening. I need to go look at a chart to figure out, can I recreate that? Is that happening in production? So what I would say is there's more people have access to your chart than you would think. But in general, like if you're a nurse or a doctor, don't go open up random people's charts. We have audits of everything. Everything's audited. You're not going to be able to hide it. I could find very, very easily if people are accessing people's charts. Do I know about LOINC codes? Yes, I know about LOINC codes. For people that want to know what LOINC codes are, LOINC code is a code where it's like explaining what something is. So in the laboratory world, you would tie them to your assays. And then in your assays, that tells you, okay, this is the red blood cell count assay. And it's kind of like a universal identifier. So that if you call this one thing in your system and somebody else calls it RBC something else for red blood cells or red blood count, then that's how you know how to translate them. So, okay, so have I proven that I am a healthcare consultant yet? Okay, I think we're good on that. That's kind of the boring stuff people don't want to know about. Now you guys all know, and people try to tell me that I'm a spy or that I'm disinformation, that you know I'm an actual healthcare IT consultant. I know about pharmacy. I'll say that I know about pharmacy. I know about lab. And I know about a lot about patient care processes. ICD-10 codes are diagnosis codes. They moved from ICD-9 to ICD-10 several years ago. And they're extremely specific. Diagnosis codes are funny because they'll have stuff in there that's like helicopter crash where the person lost an arm. And you're like, damn, that's real specific. And it goes into a lot of elaborate detail on diagnosis codes in general. Oh boy, you guys are getting the personal questions. Are we doing an AMA right now? I'm going to only say this because I've already said this before. Although it's a little bit scary to mention, but I did not get the shot. You guys know what I'm talking about. I have an exemption that was covered to not get it. But I fully believe in science and medicine. But yes, I have an exemption for personal reasons that I'm not going to state, so that I did not end up getting that shot, no. But I don't discourage anybody else from any types of medical procedures or drugs that they want to put into their own body. They're free to go nuts on that. I do not care. Okay? So you guys got that information. Please don't try to make me lose my job over stuff like that. I think that you will find that this may surprise some people. I think that you will find a lot more people in healthcare did not get the shot than what you would imagine and what you've been told. That's what I'll say. Not going to go into any more depth on that. Just going to say that. That's my opinion, is that you would be surprised at that the percentages that you get told out there don't seem to line up with, the people in the healthcare field. So just a heads up on that. Trying to think if I can talk about this. So, when they disregard your exemption, well, you better have a good reason, man. You better have a good reason. And the answer is say very little. Say very, very little. Just what I would say is this. Google the information about exemptions when it comes to religious freedom and say the minimum amount of information possible. And when they try to dig into it, just repeat that information over and over again. Don't try to give them any reasons why. The other thing I would say is don't say anything that you would read about conspiracies online. They will not buy into that. They will not use that in general. So heads up. Yeah. And lastly, just to be 100% clear, I always wore a mask when I was required to in my job, which was very common, especially in the last few years where all healthcare facilities required them. I was never like sitting there telling people that, oh, I'm not going to take it or I'm not going to wear it or whatever. Of course I would wear it if it's required. If it's a private business, they can, if whatever, it's just not that big a deal, man. But it doesn't mean I'm going to sit there and wear them in my own free time. So, yeah, Jay, I'm not going to go into too much more on that. I could, but maybe we can talk about it offline if you're really interested and you want to know. Okay, let's not. This isn't a. It's not a COVID stream. It's not a COVID stream. We need Rumble so we can talk and chat freely. Hey, Isaac. Yeah, I'm actually working on. I'm gonna switch over to Streamlabs this weekend, and when I switch over to Streamlabs, I think I'm gonna be able to live stream both on Rumble and YouTube simultaneously. So it should be good. Should be good. Man, what I will say is that a lot of people were really OCD about the mask stuff. You know how many times I would have people come up to me and tell me to pull my mask up over my nose? I'm like, okay. Like, that's a little bit too much of micromanaging, huh? Whoa, Just Jeff. That's dark, buddy. Oh, the space with Richard Dottie did not get recorded, I don't think. Wait, was it recorded? Maybe it was. It was Hey Ocean. I'll pull it up for you guys. If you want to listen to the Richard Dottie one, you can. I was only on for 30 minutes or less. But if you want to check it out. Oh, she's in a stream right now. Oh, they're talking about Jellyfish. I kind of want to jump in that, but I want to at least get one post out tonight. So she's the one. And she's got, assuming some of the videos she posted, she's got some cute dogs out there, guys. I'm not sure if she's single, but, you know, if people are out there. That MH370x dating app, we got to get that thing set up. Got to get that set up. COVID-24, forget COVID-19. I do wonder, are they going to rename it? Like, COVID-19 was meant after the year it came out. That was almost 5 years ago. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Here it is. I think it got broken up, though. I don't know if this is the full one or what have you. So here's the link if you guys want to check out Hey Ocean's thing. I don't know. Her dogs were pretty damn cute. I'd have to dig through. If they were her dogs, I'm not sure. But there was, I think I saw a husky. I'm not sure. Okay. Let's go ahead and, yeah, no more COVID talk. Not for tonight, at least. Maybe if we move off of YouTube, we can talk about it. When I talked about the other stuff before, I had somebody go and reply and try to pull me into a Twitter thread to like argue about it. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to pass. I'm just going to pass. I just don't want to, man. Okay, I want to dig into the NRL 39 stuff real quick. So I think, do I have it up? God, I've got so much stuff, man. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to do a space on EBO scientist as well. So I'm going to do a space tomorrow. I'm going to make a post about that. Space on EBO scientist tomorrow, as well as live stream. We're going to go over this entire thing because a lot of people don't know about it. And I just think it's pretty compelling. It's going to take me like 20 minutes just to read all this. So I think what we'll do is we'll do an open space where people can ask questions about it. Especially now we got the whole jellyfish thing going on. I feel like it'll be, I think it'll be interesting. Right? I like to mix it up, a little bit of like science, a little bit of spy stuff, which is like the satellite stuff, and then a little bit of, what is this, dude? What is this? What is this? Oh my god. Oh my god. I lost my mind. Lost my train of thought. It's too funny. What the hell, dude? Oh my god. Dude, these are great. Read Cosmic Toast IQ. Where? Here? Yeah, I'll check it, man. I'm going to check it after I get off the thing here tonight. Cosmic Toast, if you have something you have to say, just say it in here. Otherwise, I'll take a look at the emails after I log off. Dude, could these be any sketchier? Is this real? Is this real? How are these patches real, man? What's this? Ooh. Oh, definitely. Okay. Okay. It's NRL 39 time. Do we have a post for it already set up? Nothing. I do need help with the podcast list, but I'm probably just going to do it myself. Man, look at all this stuff, man. Look at all this. Look how many podcasts, man. Look how many podcasts we've done. I think we can close this one out. Podcast list, new evidence. Roy D. Herbert questions. Save that. I think this is old as well. I'm going to close this as well. Okay. Let's take a look at the NRL 34 or 39, which is USA 247. I think we just copy this to start, so that this is a good background. Everybody else wants to know what it is, but we can edit it if need to, if we don't want to plagiarize Wikipedia. Okay. Motto. Nothing is beyond our reach. Except for, apparently, giant 777s. Yeah, so EBO scientist, if you're curious, tomorrow we'll go over that. That's the Reddit post. It's gone. It's been deleted. It was deleted in real time while the person was posting and replying to questions. This is all that's left, is this link here that has the list of it. This is the date that it was posted. This is why I'm going to talk about it, because I like talking about stuff that's been deleted out there. I'm sure we're going to have people saying that it's fake or that it was Punjabi Batman, because he actually replied. The person who made this post replied to Punjabi Batman. Where was it? And so then people thought that he must be involved. See here. So people were like, oh, it must be Punjabi Batman because he replied to Punjabi Batman. Punjabi Batman's also been permanently banned. It's interesting how they find ways to permanently ban people who are a threat to them. So they were answering all these questions and they ended up getting deleted in real time. I think if we go to the bottom one. That was it. All gone. Okay. Let's finish up this NRL 39 thing. We've been going for almost 2 hours tonight. So we're going to probably close it down a little bit after this. What is a 501 configuration? Lockheed Martin again. I mean, let's just be honest. It's Lockheed Martin. 12 CubeSats. I wonder if they can use these CubeSats to take video as well. Maybe it's even more crazy than what we think. Like maybe they're using these CubeSats to have low Earth orbit capabilities. Satellite's been a radar imaging satellite. Okay, well that's not much. Huh. See what else we can find. Criticism of Frank? Frank who? Get into your criticism of Frank. What are we talking about? What Frank? Yeah, we're definitely going to be digging into that EBO stuff tomorrow. It's going to be fun. We're going to take a little side quest into that, just to get people up to speed, especially because all this alien stuff recently. I think it'll be interesting. Yeah, what's going on with these CubeSats, man? I'm looking for anything spicy in here. Oh, so it's a low Earth orbit satellite. Definitely a low Earth orbit satellite. Future imagery architecture constellation. Radar reconnaissance payloads. Altitude of, what was it? 1,000 kilometers about? What was it? 1,100 kilometers. Oh, the tunnel stuff is really creepy too. Yeah. We've been posting, I've had a private chat with some people, including Keemstar and Jimmy Corsetti, that we were looking at that. I love all the connections I'm starting to make with people too. So one thing I realized too is that all these like podcast game is a pretty small niche group of people, and then there's like little circles, right? Like we know some of the circles of the people we don't like, but we're developing little circles of people that we do like, who are open-minded, who like to check out stuff. But yeah, if you want a little side quest, check out the tunnel stuff. I'm probably not going to report on the tunnels. I thought about it. It's a little bit too much outside my wheelhouse for what we're doing here tonight and what we're doing as part of the investigation. I like the satellite stuff. I like focusing on the science. I don't mind talking about aliens or UFOs. I think that's pretty interesting. And then, of course, anything related to airplanes, missing airplanes, I think that's definitely within our wheelhouse as well. So for now, that's kind of, we're going to keep it. Oh, I forgot something funny. I forgot something very funny about the AARO thing. The AARO person was like, I said how much I appreciated the conversation with them, and I was going to make a Twitter post about it. They told me not to use their name. They said I can post anything else about our conversation, and I was going to ask them, but they told me ahead of time. And they said I should be careful about hurting my brand. I was like, dude, if you knew my brand, man, you would know that is not something I'm afraid of. I was like, I'm sitting here talking to Alex Jones and all kinds of other people. You think I'm afraid of hurting my brand, man? I'm talking about a conspiracy and science that a lot of people are never going to believe. So I told him, like, no, I'm going to give you guys a good glowing post. I appreciate you talking to me and calling me, etc. And he's like, oh, well, I don't want to hurt your brand. And I'm like, dude, I don't give a crap about my brand. Like, yeah, no, man, don't worry about it, honestly. I told him I'd be happy to help rehabilitate the AARO image, because, especially now that Sean Kirkpatrick's out, I'm happy to help anybody who has questions. And I think that the reality is that I think that that's the right organization to try to get information out, and they have the right access to be able to reach into some of that stuff, but they need to be transparent about it. They need brand managers. Yeah, there's no branding. We're just giving information out. That's it. Okay. Anything else? There's like all this stuff is classified. There's basically just no information. Oh, we're gonna take this. Definitely want this. Take that. This is pretty good. Don't damage your brand. New memes dropping. We'll have to do memes tomorrow after EBO Scientists. I wasn't one of the first. I wasn't the first. Actually, I might be the first one, honestly. Like I submitted the thing like within like an hour after it became online. People pinged me. Yeah, Lockheed Martin's our brand. Oh, look at that thing. I mean, I think that's all the information we're going to get about NRL 34. Or 39, I mean. Okay, here we go. Let's make our post. I don't think we're getting any more out of this. Where's the Twitter? Here it is. The Twitters. Oh, wait. Why is that? Whatever. Okay. Satellite update. NRL 39. Lockheed Martin. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, let's just pull all this in. And then let's take our picture. Yeah, I'm not going to go too deep on this one. This is enough, honestly. Like, people don't really read all this. Like, this is already probably too long. Delete this. We can probably combine these two, right? Actually, this is good. This actually fits really well. Man, we might even have the satellite wrong. They might be using some other classified satellite like this. We might actually not even be looking at USA 229. And there might just be satellites everywhere, is what I'm wondering. Yeah, I'll be clear. I'm not hiding anybody's messages, and I don't have Nightbot in. I haven't been using Nightbot for a while. We haven't got spammed with racist stuff for quite a while, which is nice. Okay, let's take this. I think this is pretty good. This is actually kind of long. Can't believe this is their logo, dude. Look at this. What is this, man? You serious with this logo? I think this is the one I want. Nothing is beyond our reach. Yeah, it's got to be one of the strongest circumstantial cases of all time. It really does. People have been convicted of murder for less circumstantial evidence of this. I kind of want to shorten this, but this is probably fine. I think we're going to italicize this. Like that. I think that's the play. I don't know how you spell reconnaissance. National Reconnaissance Office. That was close. Was I just missing an S? That was pretty close. Okay, this should be good. Hey, Ellie, Ellie's in the chat. Hey, Amanda, Hermes, everybody as well. Appreciate you. We're going to be closing out here in just a couple minutes for the night. Appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. No, I think those are definitely lithium-ion batteries. The Malaysian CEO actually lied about them. Malaysian Airlines CEO. He lied, said there was no dangerous cargo on early on, and then on March 20th, they admitted that there was dangerous lithium-ion batteries. This was after they had already started to create this fake narrative of the plane going into the South Indian Ocean. Okay, another battery separate without leaving a debris field. Okay. People are probably going to be like, oh, well, do we think this satellite was one that saw the plane? If it's a radar satellite, supposedly this radar satellite was supposed to be able to like see like everywhere. I don't know if we can find any quotes on that real quick. I think we'll just go with that. There's another one called NROL 25. Yeah, this one also was launched. These are all low Earth orbit satellites. Okay, I think we're just gonna post this. Let's say. Maybe we shouldn't use the word tracking. Let's just say advanced capabilities. Okay, that should be good. I think that sums it up pretty nicely. Bada bing, bada boom. Let me just reread it so I don't. Yeah, okay. That's good. Post it. Post it. Okay, who's going to be the first one to like it? Who's going to be the first one? Okay, let's close this bad boy down for tonight, guys. I want to thank everybody who has been following along with the case, investigating. We are growing, growing as a channel, growing as an investigation. It's been just honestly incredible to be part of everything that's going on right now. And I appreciate everyone who's been hanging out with us on all these different nights that are out there. I will tomorrow. I've got other stuff on the new evidence list that we're going to go through. I think we can cross off NRO 39. One of the things I want to do is if I can learn how to edit videos, I want to show the clouds moving. So one of the things that I want to do is if we show this, I want to figure out a way where I can show like this and go back and forth and show how, I mean, you can see the clouds moving, man. Like, this is not like compression that we're looking at. You can see the clouds shaking and moving here. Like, look at this clouds moving. I want to like be able to grab this and show it sped up like this, where you can just show people that this is not compression that we're looking at. There might be some aspects of compression, but this is really, if you were trying to look at clouds from above, this is what they're going to look like. You can see them moving around. You can see them resizing themselves over here, right, on their edges. Is there any other good examples? This one here is not as great when you look at this. Like this, you can tell some of it's compression where you see like some little dots and fuzz here, right? But when you see the like edges, like this thing's wiggling over here, I kind of want to show some of these. I think Punjabi Batman might have posted some of these. I'm not sure, or like his friend. And you can see here, I mean, there's a bunch of parts where you can see that the clouds are moving as well on this one. So we might do some of that as well. A little Bible quote. Let's see. Yeah, you can take a look at the stream if you want to figure out the stuff that they asked me. I did talk through, I think, everything that people spoke about today related to AARO. It's all in the stream for tonight if you want to check it out. That's why I want to keep the stream a little bit shorter tonight, not go for like 3 or 4 hours. Ezekiel 1. Okay. Let's look at the King James Version. Okay, little Bible. Now it came to pass in the 13th year, or the 30th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river of Chebar, that the heavens were opened, and I saw visions of God. In the 5th day of the month, which was the 5th year of the king of Jehoiachin's captivity, the word of the Lord came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the river Chebar. And the hand of the Lord was there upon him. And I looked, and I behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and the brightness was about it. And out of the mist therefore came a color of amber, and out of the mist a fire, and also out of the mist therefore came the likeness of 4 living creatures. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. And every one of them had 4 faces, and every one had 4 wings. And their feet were straight, were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. And they had the hands of a man under their wings on their 4 sides, and they had 4 that had faces on their wings. Their wings were joined to one another. They were not turned when they went. Every one were straight. At the likeness of their faces, they had 4 of the faces of a man, the face of a lion. And we're explaining the angels. I'm not going to go through all of this, but amen. And everybody have a great night. Let there be light. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you. And have a good one, guys. Anything you guys want to hit me up on, I'm going to try to take a look at my emails tonight as well. So peace all.